welcome back to Gav Goes In. Guys, back to the original setting. This was the setting I first done when I first started streaming, man. So back in the whip, back in the whip. Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope everyone's having a nice, relaxing day. Hope everyone is enjoying their day. And guys, big up, man, for you guys coming through each and every time. Guys, as always, make sure you're smashing the like button. Make sure you are subbing to the channel, and make sure you are sharing the channel as well. And as I say, keep your questions and comments coming in. Obviously, today's a sports QA, so it's questions that you guys have for me. Obviously, a Christmas special. Big up to my guy Fitz. Big up to Christopher McGrath as well. Yeah, guys, big up, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, listen, big up to Jude Fenwick as well. Guys, big up to everyone coming through. Obviously, I know it's Christmas time, but I did promise you guys that I'll be doing a sports Q&A. Just getting everyone away from the, from the Christmas festivities, having that bit of time away to do your own thing. And as I said, yeah, I appreciate you guys coming through and supporting the channel. So, as I said, man, make sure you smash the like button, guys. Make sure you share the channel. Make sure you sub to the channel if you're new as well. Big up to Lewis Jackson. Big up, my guy. Big up. Yeah, man, I'm doing all well. I'm doing good. Obviously, Christmas time, busy with the family, etc. And yeah, no, it's been good, man. It's just, it's one of them days, man, where it's just a relaxing day. But the work never stops, man, for me personally. So, as I said, yeah, it's been good, man. I hope everyone's doing well as well. Big up to Babs One Diva. Happy holidays, Gav. Gav, you said one of your favourite footballers is Messi. What are the qualities you like about him? Yeah, big up for the question. Big up to Babs One Diva. Yeah, listen, I will definitely get on to the questions in a minute. But I just want to say Merry Christmas to everyone. And you know what? It's a good community that I'm trying to build here. And I appreciate you guys for, sticking with me and coming through, man, and supporting the channel. So it's much appreciated. And as I said, it doesn't go unnoticed, guys. So big up yourselves. Big up to Simon W. Says, greetings to you. Merry Christmas, Gav. Hope you had a good day so far. Yeah, listen, it's been good. It's been good, man. Eating the dinner, etc. And yeah, listen, man, it's always a time, that brings you closer to family, etc. But for me, it's more of a day of just relaxation, and just chilling out. And as I said, yeah, it's been good, man. It's been good. Obviously, it's 8 o'clock now. So it's good to get away, man, and just get some, some breathing space in a sense. But yeah, no, it's been good, man. I said, hope everyone's Christmas has been good as well. Stephen Welsh says, my dog died today. Sorry to hear that, man. Sorry to hear that. But, as I said, man, I'm not sure how long you had your dog for, but, it's going to be hard for you to kind of, to get over that, understand. But listen, if this is a channel that can help you take your mind off it, then, as I said, man, just try and come through as regular as you can, man. And guys, as I said, this was the first time I started streaming in my car. So I'm back in the car, obviously, for obvious reasons. Again, I'm not at home, so I'm out, obviously, around family, doing Christmas there. So yeah, listen, back in the whip, and it's one of them things where yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy actually to be back in there. But as I said, I promised I'd give you guys another stream. So as I said, keep your questions and comments coming in. As I said, guys, I will try and get back to everyone's comments and questions. So again, any sporting questions that you guys have, make sure you put that in. And as I said, I will definitely answer your questions. And guys, as I said, there's 20 of you in there and there's 5 likes. So make sure you're smashing the like button, guys. So if you smash the like button, it helps the channel be seen by more people. So again, if you do support the channel, then yeah, just smash the like button, sub to the channel and share the channel, and big up yourselves. So I'm gonna go through some of your questions. So Christopher McGrath says, which Prem team do you think is going to pick up the most points from, say, the 20th of December to the 4th of January? Well, I think the easiest way to answer that question is the team that wins the league. You'd probably say they will be the team that that picks up the most points, and just based on who I think will win the league, I'm gonna say Manchester City, but I don't know why. Yeah, I've got a sneaky feeling for Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa, the run that they've been on, they're gonna be full of confidence as well. But what I would say, Aston Villa's next 2 league games will tell me what they're going to be doing if there is to be a serious title challenge from them. Because I think if they can avoid defeat, and again, not saying they have to win, but I think if they can avoid defeat, if they can pick up probably, let's say, 2 draws or a win and a draw, 4 points or 2 points, I would say, you know what, Aston Villa, I would say, are firmly in this race, because if you look at who they've beaten Man City already, they've beaten Arsenal. Their only loss in those 12 games is to Liverpool. So again, I would say if they can overcome Arsenal and Chelsea in the next 2 games, I'm gonna start saying they're gonna be on for a title race. I definitely believe that. But big up for the question. Let's see. Yeah, big up to Babs One Diva says, Gav, you said one of your favourite footballers is Messi. What are the qualities you like about him? So, you know what it is, what I like about Messi, yeah, is that I think the very first thing what I identified about Messi was, if anyone's watched Messi's career from young when he made his debut, it was a passing of the mantle. Obviously you think of Ronaldinho having the number 10 shirt, being the best player at Barcelona. And I never forget when there was an interview with Ronaldinho, and they asked Ronaldinho, how does it feel to be the best player in the world? And Ronaldinho, he laughed to himself, and he said, as a joke, and again, it wasn't really a joke. He said he's not even the best player at Barcelona. And he was talking about Lionel Messi. So again, Messi's rise to fame in terms of the player was heavily influenced by Ronaldinho, and again, Messi does give a lot of credit to Ronaldinho, because Ronaldinho nurtured him as Messi was coming through when Messi made his debut at 16. And what I like about Messi is, Messi does everything at a high level for me, in terms of, he's arguably for me the best dribbler, he's got the best touch, the best passer. If you want to go on to decisive moments, he turns up when it matters. The fact that he's left-footed as well, just like myself, I have more of a love for that as well. And what I like about Messi is that in an era of football now where you do see a lot of players doing step-overs, etc., yeah, Messi doesn't do step-overs. It's body swerve, it's movement of his body, of the hips. That's how he goes past players. And obviously, as he's getting older, he's still got that about him, but he's not as explosive as he used to be, for obvious reasons. But for me, I just like Messi because in an era of, where it's, when he was coming through, he wasn't 6 foot, obviously the guy's about my height, I think about 5'7". And, he was just shrugging off, bigger players than him, deciding games, playing for the best team in the world at the time with Barcelona. And again, Messi's had very many errors, playing part of a front three with Pedro and David Villa, another one of my favourite players. Then you think of the Eto'o. Well, before the Pedro and David Villa, it was Messi, Eto'o, and Henry. Messi, Ronaldinho, and Eto'o. You think of Messi, Villa, and Pedro, as I said. But the best for me was MSN. It was Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. That was my favourite, because that was a front three there, which you had 2 creators in Messi and Neymar, and then you had Luis Suarez, who was the goal scorer, but then Messi and Neymar scored goals and Luis Suarez created. So having that front three, MSN, I've not seen a better front three than that three, and there is a lot of front threes up there, but that's definitely one of the best for me. But yeah, what I would say is just Messi's just a supreme footballer. He's just got so many qualities about him. The best passer, he's technical, as I said. The guy scores obscene amount of goals. And he's someone that we don't look at with goals as to say he's a good player. So yeah, as I said, man, Messi's just one of my favorite players, along with Ronaldinho and R9 and a few others, but those three for me in particular. So yeah, that's why I like Messi, man. He's just a top player, man. But big up for the question. Let's move on, guys. Make sure we're smashing the likes as well. Make sure we're smashing the likes. Let's go through. Yeah, big up to Jude, man. Says, great gifts I got today, man. I'm so thankful. My mum got some stadium tour tickets for Old Trafford. Yeah, big up to Jude, man. Hope you go and enjoy that day, man, if you do go with your mum. But what I would say, man, try and go there when Amarin gets sacked. That's what I would say, man. Don't go there now, man, because it's only going to depress you, man. Or if you're not going, tell your mum to go there when Amarin gets sacked, man, because yeah, she's gonna end up wasting her tickets, man, if she does go. Or is it for a particular game that she has to go to? Coming on here gets me away from all the awful films. Looking forward to a great evening. Yeah, listen, man. Big up to Simon. I hear it, man. Everyone's watching EastEnders right about now, and yeah, man, I ain't got time for that nonsense. I'll be honest. So, yeah, if you guys were gonna watch EastEnders and you found this instead, big up to yourselves. Bucky says, "Why are you in your car?" Again, for those of you that have just joined, obviously I first started off streaming in my car, funny enough. But the only reason I'm in my car today is for obvious reasons. I'm not at home. And obviously there's family inside, so from where I am. So obviously I can't really stream in there, I'd be too busy. So that's why I thought, you know what? I promise you guys I'll give you guys a stream to get you away from the Christmas festivities. But yeah, I had to do it in my car. So that's the reason. But big up. Yeah, big up Fitz, man. As I said, the same thing with Stephen, man. Condolences about anyone that's lost, whether it's a loved one or a pet, man. Condolences all the way. Let's see. Gav, if you didn't support Man U, what other team in the Premiership would you support? Do you know what? That's actually an easy decision. That's actually easy, yeah? The answer is no one. I wouldn't support another team. Like, as bad as we are, Manchester United, yeah? Man United's been my team from young. You know, a lot of the reason why I support Manchester United is Eric Cantona. Eric Cantona was the idol that I looked up to in terms of when I watched Manchester United. Eric Cantona, Ryan Giggs, scumbag off the pitch, but a legend on it. But Ryan Giggs, Eric Cantona, David Beckham, those were the guys that I looked up to playing at Manchester United. So yeah, I know we're in a bad way at the moment, but there's no part of me that's gonna say, obviously Andy Cole as well, another one, Paul Scholes, definitely. But there's no part of me that will ever support another team in England. It's Manchester United. But another team that I do like, which I told you guys already, is Barcelona for many reasons, man. Barcelona's my second team, I would say. But yeah, no, I couldn't support another team in the Premier League, man. It's either Manchester United or I'll just go and follow Barcelona, Or if anything in the Premier League, if I didn't support Man United, I would just like to watch a team that plays good football. That's it, you know. Let's see. Guys, remember, get your questions and comments in. Remember, sports Q&A can be about any sport, or even if you've got any life stuff you want to talk about, then feel free. Gav, who do you think will win the Royal Rumble and who do you want to see win it? Who do I think will win the Royal Rumble? Good question, Who do I think wins the Royal Rumble? You know what? I've got a feeling Um, I think it's going to be between two people. I think you might see Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins win the Royal Rumble. Yeah. I'm going to say Roman Reigns. I'm going to say Roman Reigns. I think he wins the Royal Rumble. I think Roman Reigns gets back to reclaiming the gold. Because you think that CM Punk's got it at the moment. Obviously, he's fighting Bron Breakker. But I just got a feeling even Seth Rollins, yeah, he might even make a comeback and win the Royal Rumble. But I'm gonna say Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns will win it. Yeah. Okay, so here is the tail end of that question. How many points do you think Wolves can pick up from their next 5 to 6 games? Well, Wolves are on what, 2 points right now? You know what, yeah? I would have to say, yeah, Wolves have to get at least 10 points for me in this league. They have to get at least 10 points. How many? I mean, if anyone's got Wolves' fixtures, the next 5 or 6 fixtures, then I'll be able to answer that a bit more better. But I know in there is, I know they're playing Liverpool next game. Man United's in there. How many points? Yeah, guys, if anyone's got the fixtures, Wolves' next 5 or 6 fixtures, put that in and I'll come back to that question. But big up to Simon anyway. I'll come back. Big up, Gav. City still got to visit Anfield, Stamford Bridge, and Old Trafford. I think City will drop points at Sunderland away next week. Yeah, listen, I wouldn't. I don't actually think that's a bad shout. But what I will tell you, yeah, and again, I spoke about this. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, City have got. They're trying to get Semenyo, which is a very smart signing. Yeah. Now, if you think that City are trying to get Semenyo, and they've got Marmoush and they've got Eight Nori to come back, yeah. Have a look at City's squad when everyone's fit. And let's not forget, they're missing arguably their best midfielder in Rodri as well. But have a look at City's squad. And this is why I think City are going to be a team that's going to be a tough team to stop. They've got players in form. They've got players that are making a difference as well. Ryan Cherky. So I'm going to say, yeah, look at their team. They've got 2 goalkeepers in Donnarumma and Trafford. They've got Matthias Nunez. Again, people wouldn't have thought Matthias Nunez would be performing the way he's performing. And he's arguably the first choice right back now. And again, this is a guy that's a central midfielder. And then you got Rico Lewis that's backing him up. 2 left backs. Again, Nico O'Reilly is a number 10 playing at left back. And right now, he's first choice for club and country. And then, let's not forget, Ryan Aït-Nouri is a top left back. And he's one of the best left backs in the league. And the fact that he's back from injury, obviously he's at AFCON, but he's going to be trying to force his way into the team. You know, you got Josko Gvardiol, who's one of the best defenders in the world for me. Him and Ruben Diaz, and then you got Ake, and then you've got Nathan. Yeah, you got Nathan Ake, and then you've got John Stones. You would say backing it up. Obviously, again, Rodri's out injured, but he'll be back. Nico Gonzalez is adapting to City's system. Then you've got Bernardo Silva, who's the captain, and again, Bernardo Silva has dropped off, but he's experienced in the league. Kovacic is out injured as well. Foden, obviously, in terms of goal scoring and his form, is very good. Ryan Cherky, for me, is a potential Ballon d'Or contender. Savinho, again, I think Savinho's, you know, not underappreciated, but I don't think people rate him that highly. But I think Savinho is a very good player, and again, he's going to be competing to try and get a start in that team, which won't be easy. On the left-hand side, you know, if you've got 2 pace merchants and physicality monsters in Jeremy Doku and Antoine Semenyo, again, that takes him up another level. And then you've got the serial goal scorer in Erling Haaland. And then you've got Omar Marmoush, as I said, that can play as a 10 from the left up top. Tijani Reinders, another one, new signing. So again, they're going to take some stopping, man. So they have got tough games coming up. But then again, so have Arsenal, because Arsenal have got to play Brighton next game and Aston Villa. And I believe one of them 2 games, Arsenal dropped points. One of them 2 games, I believe. So, listen, man. It's gonna be a tough. It's gonna be a tough season for a lot of the teams, but I'm gonna say City are the team to beat this season. But big up. Where would you rank Emery as a manager? Because for me, he's tied second best manager in the league, but I don't know if anyone else agrees. Bro, listen, you're not on your own. I mean, if you're looking at the best manager in the league, for me, it's still Pep. You know, Pep's the best. Pep's the best manager of all time for me. He's up there with Alex Ferguson and Ancelotti. I think if you used to say who are the 3 best managers, you know, Pep, Ferguson, and Ancelotti have to be up there for me. But look, as I said, man, Unai Emery, and I'll keep saying this, if Unai Emery had the money that Arteta had, Unai Emery would have won them a league already, long time ago. So when you're saying he's the second best manager in the league, that's not even a mad shout, because he probably is. I mean, he is the best second manager. He is the second best manager in the league, because Pep's top. Unai Emery's better than Arteta. He's better than Slot. So yeah, he is the second best manager in the league. So when you actually think of it like that, yeah, is it actually a surprise that he's doing what he's doing? I think the only surprise is that he's doing it with an Aston Villa team that, you know, no one in the chat right now would say, you know, that they're going to win a title, really. But if you've got the second best manager in the league, it's saying something, put it that way. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's not even a mad shout, man. And again, you got Enzo Maresca, but again, I think Emery's better than Maresca. You know, you got 2 Spanish managers that probably 1 and 2 for me, definitely, in Pep and Emery. Simon says, can Haaland beat Shearer's record this season? What, his overall record in terms of how many goals, the most goals in the Premier League? Is that what you're talking about? Because if you're saying, can he beat Alan Shearer's record of getting the most goals in the Premier League, then if he stays at Man City for the rest of his career, then he will do. He will definitely break it. Because he's already on what? 100 already, or more than 100 already. So he needs another, what? 160. I think Shearer got 260. So Haaland needs probably about another 150 something to break Shearer's record. And again, if he stays at Man City, where he's going to be hitting 25 to 30 goals a season for the next, 5 seasons, then he'll do that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I definitely think he'll do that. No doubt. Diddy Kenny says, who's your favourite defender? What, of all time or right now? Of all time? Of all time, it's difficult because there's been some top defenders. And it's hard to pick one, if I'm honest. But I'd have to say... Do you know what? I loved Jaap Stam, man. Jaap Stam was an absolute monster. And it's not even Manchester United bias, yeah? Jaap Stam was an absolute monster. He had everything. He was a leader, strong. He had good recovery pace. You know, technically he was decent as well. Not the greatest, but decent. Yeah, Jaap Stam for me. But there's loads, man. You can say Alessandro Nesta was a top defender. Cannavaro. You can put Rio in there. Ledley King was a top defender, but injuries killed him. John Terry was a very good defender, you know. Sergio Ramos is one of my favorites. I think Sergio Ramos is criminally slept on, in my opinion. That guy had everything as a defender. He did, you know. But yeah, there's been loads of top defenders. I think if we're saying from the past, yeah, there's loads of people. If we're saying now, what defender do I like? I mean, there ain't really many defenders that I actually rate right now. I think Virgil van Dijk was always a standout for me, not just because of his reading of the game and his stature, etc. But when you're a defender and you have the pace, the strength, the reading ability, and you're technical as well, that stands out for me. Obviously, Van Dijk's not the same Van Dijk that he was. So yeah, I think in this era right now, I think I'm a fan of Matthias de Ligt. You know, him and Gabriel to me this season have been the best two centre backs. But I think it tells you where the game is, that there ain't really a centre back that I would say, yep, he's the best defender in the world right now. Clearly, I think there's players that are in the conversation, but I can't say that there's one that I would say, yeah, he's definitely the best defender. So, Gav, I'm watching you and EastEnders. Nah, listen, put EastEnders in the bin, man. Throw that away. Turn the TV off and watch Gav Goes In, not EastEnders. Hypothetically speaking, if you were Ronaldo, would you retire after scoring your 1000th goal? I think that's what he's looking to do anyway, if I'm honest. I think that's what he's looking for. So, yeah, but I mean, what's the targets for him now? He's not going to win a World Cup for me. And getting the 1000th goal might be something that he might look at to cement his legacy. So, yeah. Yeah, who knows, man. Guys, it's 31 of you guys. Make sure we're smashing the like button. Okay, we got 14 likes and 31 of you watching. So let's smash the like button, guys. Christmas special. Obviously, giving you guys some content. So again, it's about you guys. You know, give me any of your questions, any sporting questions that you guys want. You know, even if it's it's a real life question as well. So yeah, just make sure you're smashing the likes, guys, and subbing to the channel. And most importantly, sharing the channel as well. Big up yourselves. Have you ever had a dream that you want you to? Yeah, I don't understand that one. I'm not going through that one. I don't even understand that. Prediction tomorrow. Prediction tomorrow. For me, I think I've said it already. I'm going to say 2-0 Newcastle, I'm going to say. My reasons for that, I just don't trust this manager, as you guys know already. I don't trust the team he's going to play. I mean, you're thinking of Ahmad, Mbuemo, Mazraoui, Kobe. You know, these guys are all out injured. Oh, sorry. 3 of them are out on international duty. Even if you want to throw Bruno in there as well. Obviously, he's injured. Kobe's obviously apparently injured as well. Guys, bear me 1 minute. 1 minute. Yeah. So, yeah, Kobe's out injured apparently as well. So, yeah, I mean, he's going to play. I think he might even play Casemiro and Alessandro Martinez double pivot probably tomorrow as well, which will give the defense a bit more defensive solidity, I would say. But I just don't rate this manager in the system, so I have to keep it 100, you know. So I'm going to say 2-0. Yeah, I'm going to say 2-0 to Newcastle. Yeah. I just don't rate this manager or what's going on there, you know. Okay, so big up to Simon says, Wolves have got Liverpool, Man United, West Ham, Everton, Shrewsbury in the Cup and Newcastle. Boy, that's not an easy run, you know. I mean, even Shrewsbury, you know, that might even be a difficult one. I'm gonna say Liverpool beat Wolves, so that's 3 points gone. I'm gonna say Man United have to beat them. And again, if this is where it's gonna get interesting, yeah, because if Man United get beat tomorrow by Newcastle, and guys, I will be doing a match reaction to that game as well. I know it's Boxing Day, but I will be doing a match reaction to that one. But what I would say, if Man United get beat by Newcastle and they give him the Wolves game because they think that's a definite 3 points and he doesn't beat Wolves, it's a wrap. It has to be all over from then. So, but I'm going to say, based on Wolves being that bad, I can see them not picking up no points in the next 2 games against Liverpool and United. West Ham, they've been poor, but it depends where it is. I think if West Ham are at home, I think West Ham beat them. Everton, I mean, they're missing Illiman, NDI, and missing Dewsbury Hall and Idrissa Gueye is massive for them. But you'd have to think that the way Wolves have been going on, they'd have to beat them. Everton would have to beat them. So again, I'm saying the next 4 league games, I think the best that Wolves can hope for is probably 2 points. One, I don't see a win there. Maybe against West Ham, I don't know, but 1 or 2 points. Shrewsbury in the cup, again, they might rest players because to focus on the league, so they might pick up a win there. But then Newcastle, again, if that's at St James's Park, I think Newcastle will smoke them. So yeah, it's not looking good, man. So I'm gonna say out of them next 5 league games, I'm gonna say the best they can hope for is probably 2 points. And the 2 points I'm gonna say is West Ham and Everton, because Liverpool and United, they're playing away from home. But again, their last game away from home against Arsenal, they actually done quite well. So they might adopt a similar approach against those teams. Who knows? Who knows? Guys, make sure your questions are coming in. Remember, it's a sports Q&A. Any questions you guys have. And make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you're subbing to the channel. And make sure you share the channel as well. So what player do you think is heavily underrated? For me, I think it's Kamara. When he was injured at the start of the season, Villa couldn't win. The second he came back, Villa gradually got better. Listen, Boubacar Kamara is a good midfielder. This is a guy that was actually a centre-back as well. And his partnership with Amadou Onana and Yuri Tillemans in midfield, as a free, I think you'll go some way to bettering that free. I think the only other free that people might mention might be the Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, and possibly Joel Linton. But I think as a free, that's a strong free, man. Those 3. And again, all 3 of them, obviously when they came into the club, I think, I'm not sure if they all started straight away. I think they were trying to get a place in the team. But that's a strong 3, man. And that builds the foundation for their team. But who do I think's underrated? Heavily underrated. That's a difficult one. Who do I think's heavily underrated in the Premier League? Who's heavily underrated? It's a difficult question. That's difficult because for me to say someone's underrated, I'm just trying to go through all the teams. I would say it's difficult, man. Who's heavily underrated? Do you know what? I'll come back to that one because I can't actually tell you because I think at this moment in time, everyone gets their sort of praise in a sense. You know what I mean? I mean, if I look at Manchester United, again, you know what? Yeah, actual fact, yeah. I'm gonna go back to Manchester United because it's quite a hard question, yeah. For me, it's Matthias de Ligt. Because when Matthias de Ligt plays, just go and look at the record, Manchester United. United don't lose many games when de Ligt's in the team. Because he's that solid, So, again, I'm going to say Matthias de Ligt. I think he might be the most underrated. Because I think even when we was live the other night with Truance and with Owen from B2R Sport, they don't really rate de Ligt highly, which surprised me because, they were saying if de Ligt was that good, then Bayern would have kept him. But that's not how football works all the time, Sometimes if you fall out of a manager, it doesn't matter who you are. You know what I mean? Obviously, either you go or he does. So, but yeah, I would say Matthias de Ligt because I think he's criminally slept on. I think if you're looking at the best defenders, obviously I know he's injured, but when he was playing, before he got injured, if you were to say who's the best defender in the world, for me, you're only saying him or Gabriel, really. And that's how good he's been in a struggling team. So, yeah, Kusanov's another one. Forgot about him. Big up to Sava. Yeah, I forgot about Kusanov. Again, Kusanov's is a top defender in the making, I believe, as well. Forgot about him. If Emery wins the league before Arteta, it's going to be peak. What I would say to that, do I think Villa could win the league? I don't, because I think Man City will win it, yeah? But what I will tell you, I believe Unai Emery is more capable of winning the league than Mikel Arteta, easily. Arteta's never won a league. Emery's won a league. I know he won it with PSG in Liga, but Emery has experience of winning the league before. The difference is he's playing for a team in Aston Villa who are not rated as the top 3 teams in the league. So he's doing it from a harder position. Whereas Arteta's had time to build his team, had over £1 billion spent on the squad. But if you're asking me, I'd rate Emery to win the title before Arteta. I just don't know if it's going to be with Aston Villa. The only way Aston Villa could win a title is if the board invest. And I mean, January is a good time for them to invest in the squad, because I think if they buy a couple players in January, that will let me know what Villa are on this season. If they're looking to be serious and win a league title. But I'm still going to say it's Man City for me, And again, don't count out Liverpool. I know Liverpool have been poor, but, just don't count them out, man. It's one of them seasons. Who do you tip to win the Carabao Cup? So, who's in it? Chelsea, Arsenal, City are playing Newcastle, and who's the other team? I think Man City win it, I think Man City will win it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to say Man City. What is your channel's name? So, it's GavGoesIn. GavGoesIn, man. That's the channel name. As I said, I'm normally live. I'm not normally live in the car, but for obvious reasons today, Christmas Day, I've had to come in the car and do my stream. But big up. Big up to Babs One Diva with the super sticker. Big up. Yeah, listen, Maldini, I was going to say Maldini. But the only reason I didn't say Maldini is because Maldini wasn't really in my time. So it's a bit unfair to say that, But yeah, everyone knows Maldini. Merry Christmas, Gav. Yeah, big up to Glossy Pom Pom 4465. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you as well. Big up. Who, in your opinion, is Man United's worst ever player? Doesn't matter what position either. Oh, bro, listen, big up for the question, man. I like questions like this. For me, Man United's worst ever player, yeah, there's quite a few of them. If we're talking about right now or recent times, you can't look past Manuel Ugarte and Rasmus Højlund and throw Garnacho in there as well. So I think those 3 for me are definitely in there. And then you've got, people might say Bebe as well. But Bebe didn't play enough for me to have that judgment. Garnacho, Højlund and Ugarte have played more than enough games for me to have my judgment to say that they're probably some of the worst players that I've seen at Manchester United. Yeah, so it has to be them. Yeah, Rasmus Højlund, Alejandro Garnacho, and Manuel Ugarte for me, the 3 worst players I've seen at Manchester United. Because again, Jemba, people might say Kleberson. Well, Kleberson wasn't worse than him. And Bebe, they didn't play enough games for me to have that judgment. So yeah, I'm gonna say those 3. But again, if you guys feel there's other players, then put them in. I've seen someone said Fellaini. Listen, Fellaini wasn't worse than them 3. He wasn't. I know Fellaini was limited, but Fellaini's chest control, at least that's a massive asset to his game. But yeah, Fellaini was by no means the worst. Them 3 were worse than Fellaini for me, Yeah, Maldini played left back, centre back, but again, Maldini wasn't really in my time, I would say. I just missed Maldini, but obviously I saw a lot of him. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Big up. Big up to Lumi. Big up Lumi Rain for the super sticker. Big up. Who would you choose to be the first manager to get the sack in the new year? Who would I choose to be the first man to get sacked? Oh, Arteta? Nah, I'm joking. Arteta should be sacked, but the Arsenal fan base are deluded, as we know, so he ain't going nowhere. Even once he fails this season. I think the next manager to get sacked is Ruben Amorim. I genuinely do believe that. I genuinely do believe it's Ruben Amorim that will get sacked next manager, because I'm looking at all the other managers, yeah. And again, let me go through the league table so I can have a judgment on them, so I can see the managers that are there, and then I'll be able to tell you guys a bit more better. So yeah, again, so if we're looking at the Premier League table, yeah. So you've got Arteta won't get sacked in the new year. Obviously, Pep ain't going to. Emery's not going to. I don't believe Maresca gets sacked, but Maresca could walk. Slot won't get sacked for me. Regis Lebris won't get sacked. Glasner won't get sacked. He'll probably walk as well. Hertzler won't get sacked. David Moyes won't get sacked. Eddie Howe won't get sacked. Keith Andrews is a new manager. Marco Silva won't get sacked. Thomas Frank won't get sacked, even though that Tottenham have been poor. Iraola won't get sacked, and again, he's another one just like Glasner and Maresca will have another job lined up anyway. Daniel Farke won't get sacked. Sean Dyche won't get sacked. Nuno, for me, won't get sacked, even if they get relegated. Neither will Scott Parker. And then you've got Rob Edwards, who's new. So again, a lot of the teams that have new managers, a lot of the teams that are down the bottom, I don't think they'll get sacked, because I think realism will tell you that these teams, these teams kind of know their fate in a way anyway, So this is why I'm trying to say to you, Ruben Amorim's the next one up, I believe, will get sacked in the new year, because Man United are 7th right now, on 26 points. Now, as I said, they've got Newcastle next game. If Newcastle beat United, Newcastle level on points. If Brentford win the next game, they're level on points with United. If Fulham win the next game, they're level on points with United. And then you got Tottenham and Bournemouth. If they win the next games, they'll be a point behind United. Obviously, I'm not sure if these teams are playing each other, but the league table for United is 7th at the moment, and it can all change very, very quickly. So, yeah, listen, it's mad. It's actually mad. So will Mount fill the Bruno Fernandes void? Well, you know what? I actually rate Mason Mount as a better footballer than Bruno anyway. So the thing with Mason Mount, yeah, and again, I think everyone would be in agreement with this, yeah. If Mason Mount was wearing, let's say, I don't know, number 30, and he wasn't on 250 a week, then he wouldn't be that much of a problem. He wouldn't be. But the very fact that he wears number 7, which is an iconic number, and he's on 250, and he's been injured a lot of the time, which, again, might be out of his control, this is why Mason Mount gets the criticism that he gets. Because as a footballer, I actually think he's a better footballer than Bruno. And to answer your question, can he fill the void by Bruno? Again, for me, it's not really a void you're filling, because, Bruno's not even doing his job in midfield. People just like Bruno because of numbers, yeah? But what I would say is Amorim is not going to play Mason Mount where Bruno was playing. So again, it's a bit difficult to kind of answer that. So I think it's one of them things where if you get rid of a Bruno and have a Mason Mount and take number 7 off his back, it isn't that bad in comparison. Again, the wage is a problem. The number 7's a massive problem. So, yeah, that's just what it is. But to answer your question, can he fill the Bruno Fernandes void? He's not going to play in the same position, because Bruno plays as one of the central midfielders in a 2, and he plays Mount, as one of as a left 10. So it's, yeah, you can't really answer that because they're not competing for a direct position in a sense. But big up anyway, big up. What Foxy Daddy says, what is your passion? So my passion is my channel, Gav Goes In, obviously chatting to you guys now. My passion is going to the gym. Passion is football. Yeah, so those are my three passions, man. My channel, the gym, and football. Yeah, that's my passion. And yeah, I mean, it's never really changed, if I'm honest. It's always been that. And obviously my channel is a massive thing to me. You know, I love interacting with you guys. You know, whether you agree with me or not, I just like interacting and hearing different sides of people's opinions and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, that's my passion. That is my passion. But big up for the question. Will Liverpool win the league? I don't think they will. Man City wins it for me. But what I would say is don't count out Liverpool because they've been poor, but it's one of them things where this league table this season after 17 games is crazy. And again, the league table is very similar to Ligue 1. If anyone hasn't seen Ligue 1's table, yeah, you'll be surprised because I'll tell you now, I didn't realize what I saw there. You know, Lens are top of the league and PSG are second, Marseille are third. Monaco, who were third not too long ago, are now actually in ninth, which is crazy. So, yeah, it's very similar, the leagues. But Liverpool are what, fifth at the moment, I think? If Liverpool win their next two games, and let's say Arsenal lose their next two games, Liverpool are only 3 points behind Arsenal, and they still got to play them again. So again, it's a hypothetical in a sense, but listen, there's a long way to go. Hell of a long way to go. Anyone who uses the phrase ball knowledge isn't worth listening to. You know what? I have to agree with that. Like when I hear certain things, yeah, it's childish for me. When people say, I've had people on here say, oh, he hasn't got any ball knowledge. It's just like you're just using words that you've heard. Like, you know what I mean? I just laugh. You know what I mean? I just laugh. But big up to Lumi says, do you think you should go for Semenyo? Not for me. Not for me. I've always said Semenyo for me is a good player, but he isn't a player that Manchester United for me should be signing. And again, I'm not the first one to say it, you know, or the last, but the only position that Semenyo would occupy in this Man United team right now under this manager would be at wingback, which he's not a wingback. So if you've got the pick of a lot of clubs, the likes of Chelsea, City, obviously I know Chelsea have ended their interest, Liverpool. I'm surprised that Aston Villa haven't come in for him. They're all going to play him in his position. The one team that won't will be Man United. And again, let's not forget that Bournemouth played United recently. And if you remember, Semenyo got into a confrontation with Diogo Dalot after the challenge. Now, if you're thinking that his compatriot is Amorim, who's Portuguese, why would Semenyo come to Man United in that sense anyway? And again, it's one of them things for me that if you change the system to a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, you know, you've got Cunha and Mbeumo who can play left and right. Ahmad can play out on the right as well. Why would Semenyo come to Manchester United to be battling for a place when, you know, he could arguably, I mean, if he went to Tottenham, he starts on the left. If he went to, let's say, an Aston Villa, he could force his way in there, you know, but it means it gives him more options as well. Chelsea, if he goes there, he starts. Liverpool, you would say at this moment in time, if he goes there, he starts. And then if you look at City, he's going to City for titles and for Pep Guardiola as well. And again, you could say he could battle it out with Doku for a start as well. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't really on board with Semenyo in the first place, you know. But again, if Man United did get him, it'll be interesting to see what they actually do with the team, you know. And you'll have to believe the very fact that we heard that Man United were willing to change the system to get Semenyo in tells you that this manager's on his last legs, because that talk, if you believed in the manager, wouldn't have come out, you know. So Guys, if there's anyone that's disrespecting any of my mods, I'll just block you. You know what I mean? So anyone that's coming into the chat, obviously I'm going through some of the comments. I might be a bit delayed. Yeah, but all this negativity in there. Listen, if anyone's chatting rubbish on my mods, then and I see it, I'm just gonna block you straight away because I ain't got time for it. So let's keep it respectful in there, guys, please. Onana is settling in well abroad. Would you take him back after his loan period is over or sell him? Well, I mean, the majority of the fan base wouldn't take him back, but I think it goes to show, yeah, that Onana. I know Onana let in a lot of, well, I say a lot of silly mistakes, yeah, a lot of silly goals. But again, go and have a look at Lemens, and again, I do think Lemens a decent keeper, but you know, we was under the impression that Lemens would keep more clean sheets than Onana. I think Lemens might be on track to conceding more, or he's probably round about that right now. Last I see. So again, the Onana one, I think it's pointless really because, you know, even if he does come back, the fan base have already made up their mind with him and we know why that is. But as I said, yeah, it's one of them things where does he even want to come back? You know what I mean? That's the question you got to ask. So, Gav, was Ballack in his prime as good as Mount now? Lumi, you're just trying to wind me up now. Like, come on, man. Let's stop doing this. You're mentioning Mason Mount and Michael Ballack in the same sentence. Like, what are we doing here? Come on, what the hell are we doing here? Was Ballack in his prime as good as Mason Mount? Mason Mount couldn't even tie up Michael Ballack's laces. What are we doing? Yeah, you're just trolling now. I'm convinced. Well, yeah. Miss Bunny says, "Is that a serious question?" That's what I'm asking. Yeah, let's not do that, man. Come on. I know you're a deluded Arsenal fan, but there's no need to be doing this Mount prop. Like, this Mount prop is just getting ridiculous now. Come on. Yeah, I agree. If Arsenal kept Emery, they would have won the league 100%. No doubt they would have. I'm going to ignore that one. Yeah, Ballack and Mount. Yeah. Guys, come on, make sure we're smashing the likes. We've got 24 likes on the stream at the moment. Make sure you're smashing the like if you haven't done so already. And again, make sure you sub to the channel. Make sure you share the channel. And make sure you check out all the other content as well, guys. They're all in playlists as well. So if there's anything in particular that you want to see, maybe you might want to see me five-a-side scoring some goals. Obviously, we had a recent game against B2R Sports. Again, if you guys heard of B2R Sport, you know, they've played against the likes of Five Guys and SC Dons. I think they were recently on Baller League as well. So, yeah, we played against them last Wednesday. And obviously I had the guy that runs their team on there, Owen. He come on, when was it? On today's what? Thursday? I think he come on the stream on Tuesday, I believe. I think it was. So yeah, make sure you go and check that game out as well. Samuel Eto'o or Anelka? Ooh. See, look, now that's more of a serious question rather than Ballack and Mount. So, Eto'o or Anelka? Anelka was deadly, to be fair. He was. I'd probably say Samuel Eto'o. but Anelka was deadly. He was, especially when he came through young at Arsenal. But I'd probably say Eto'o. Yeah, big up to I'm Titanium, man. Yeah, Rasmus is the worst, man. Like, Rasmus, Yagate, and Garnacho, them three for sure, man. And if you think it was Rasmus, then I ain't gonna disagree, man, because I don't think people deep how bad he was. Like, you know, the amount of criticism that the likes of Lukaku got, yeah. Rasmus Højlund is nowhere near Lukaku, nowhere near him. Lukaku scored more goals. He had a better touch, better hold-up play. You know, Rasmus Højlund was an absolute joke at Man United, and the way he got away with it, we know why that is. Blonde hair and blue eyes. Let's be honest. That is the only reason. How's the Wolves guy still in the job? He's only just gone there, really. He's only just gone there. So, and again, he's you know what I mean? I think he's a Wolves fan as well, which is why he went there in the first place. So I think he might have taken probably a wage cut to go there. I don't know. Maresca or Amarim? Let's skip that one. Let's skip that one. That's the easiest question of the day. Ask me Rob Edwards or Amarim, and I'll tell you. Gav, who's your all-time WWF wrestler? That's difficult because there's been so many, but I think I've touched on this with Fitz when we done a stream. I said there was a wrestler I used to love called Texas Tornado. You know, he was one of my favorites watching when I was growing up. You know, I used to love Sting from WCW. Yeah, it's hard to say one. You know what I mean? There isn't one that I can say. I think with football's a bit more easier to narrow it down. But with wrestlers, there's been I've just seen a question. It's a big boy question as well. Yeah, it's hard to say who my favorite was, but yeah, I used to like. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. I can't really say, to be honest. AJ Styles I used to like watching as well back in the day. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. Desmond's or Coronation Street? Listen, Desmond's all day long. Desmond's all day long. Listen, Desmond's was the show to watch back in the day, man. In the barbershop, man. Yeah, listen, Desmond's was the one. Great question to GT Vibes, man. Great question. Yeah, Desmond's all day long, man. Come on. What's going on here? Just going through some of your questions, guys. Are you from London? Yeah, originally I'm from, yeah, I am. Who is going to win AFCON? You know what? That's difficult because there's some good teams out there, man. You know, Ivory Coast, you know, Morocco doing the Mazza, Senegal, Nigeria, Egypt, Algeria. I think they'll all be the front runners. Again, I haven't been watching it. You know, I've been missing it. What channel is AFCON on actually? Because I've not actually watched it. I haven't seen one game. I see highlights, but I need to catch a game. I heard Ahmad was on a Mazza yesterday though. Heard Ahmad played well yesterday, but yeah, I need to watch it, man. I need to watch it. Watch some games. Is Trossard underrated? I wouldn't say Trossard's underrated. I actually think Trossard has I think he's regressed going to Arsenal because when he was at Brighton, like he was dangerous. I look at him at Arsenal now, and he's just, you can tell he's just you know, you can tell Arteta's just taken something out of his game because He used to be quite exciting, Trossard, but I just look at him now as just a system player, really. But yeah, I wouldn't say he's underrated. I'll just say he's probably at the level of how he's spoken about, which is fair. But yeah, I wouldn't say he's underrated for me. I wouldn't say that. All-time best cricketer. Well, it depends. What are we talking about? Bowling or batsman? Batsman for me. You know, Brian Lara for me. I know people might say Sachin Tendulkar. Or might be a few others, but yeah, I mean, to be fair, cricket weren't really my game. You know, I used to play it back in the day. I used to watch it quite a bit. You know, when West Indies had Brian Lara, Curtly Ambrose, Courtney Walsh, Shiv Nareen Chanderpaul. You know what I mean? They had some good cricketers there, but I kind of lost track of it now. Yeah. Purely on skills alone. Ah, you know what it is, yeah? I hate these questions because these are tough ones to answer, yeah? And it's like, I feel like when I answer, I should be saying the other person. I hate these ones. So purely on skills alone, Okocha or Ronaldinho? This is tough. This is tough. Yeah, this is tough. I'd have to say, Ronaldinho, but Okocha is, yeah, Okocha was just different, man. Again, Okocha's someone I slept on, and even by myself as well. Because what Okocha was doing in the Premier League at Bolton, man, was just ridiculous. Rainbow flicking it over people's heads. You know what I mean? Just taking the piss, really. Yeah, I'd say Ronaldinho, but I wouldn't even blame you if anyone said Okocha. Because Okocha was ridiculous, man. He was ridiculous. Gittins, Delap, João Pedro, Hato, and Garnacho. Worst transfer window to ever exist. Uh, no, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so. What I would say, out of those players mentioned, the only two players, well, I like the lap, but the lap's been poor since he's come to Chelsea, really. I know injuries have played its part, but João Pedro and Yorel Hato are good players for me. Garnacho's poor, and Gittins, I don't understand the signing. I mean, to get Garnacho and Gittins in one window, like, serious questions have to be asked, man, because that don't make any sense. 200 mil for those players, I know it's criminal. I don't really understand it, but um, there you go, man. That's yeah, that's Chelsea's board for you, man. Don't make sense. It don't make any sense. To go back to a previous question, would you take Rude back as interim manager again? Should Amorim get sacked after his tenure at Leicester? Big up to Simon. Simon, listen, I'll take Rob Edwards over Amorim. I'll take Rob Edwards right now over Amorim. I don't think people deep how bad this manager is. He's rubbish, man. Like, I'm not even gonna hold back either. Like, he's rubbish for so many reasons, you know. And the very fact that I'm saying Wolves, who have 2 points, who have their manager in charge, I would have him over Ruben Amorim. It tells you all you need to know in my thinking of Amorim. Amorim's that bad, like, and it's not, for me. It's not the players. It's not this. It's just him. It's this. It's his setup. It's his subs. It's his player profiling. It's the fact that he thinks he's smarter than everyone else. It's his love for certain players. Yeah, listen. Just give me Rob Edwards. That's a good start, man. I guarantee you Rob Edwards will do a better job with this team. Because for a start, he wouldn't play this stupid formation. That's what I'll tell you. So, guys, come on, smash the likes. We got 27 likes. Let's at least hit 30 likes, guys, before we wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up in about 5 minutes. Messi or Ronaldo? Easy. Messi. All day long. Lionel Messi. You know Carl Johnson. Who's Carl Johnson? Carl Johnson. Who's Carl Johnson? I don't know Carl Johnson. Mr. Nice Guy, yeah. What did Mr. Nice Guy say? What did Mr. Nice Guy say? Um, Chelsea are beating Villa 2-0, yeah? Boy, let's see, man. Let's see. I think Villa, if Villa come out of that game, when are they playing? Villa and Chelsea. When are they playing? Are they playing what? On Saturday? Because I think Villa can pick something up. I'm not sure if they beat Chelsea because they're away from home. It won't be easy, but I think they'll pick something up, to be honest with you. What did Mr. Nice Guy say, guys? I want to see what he said. What percent of Premier League players could you beat at 2-touch? I think 30%. Lumi, listen, bring them on, man. I'll challenge anyone to two touch. Anyone can get smoke from me at 2-touch, man. Anyone. Yeah, listen. These guys are training every day, by the way, but I'd fancy my chances, put it that way, in 2-touch. I'd fancy my chances. So, yeah, bring them on, man. I don't shy away from a challenge, put it that way. Kobe or LeBron? Good question. Do you know what? It's difficult because you got Jordan, obviously, who's the master, really, you would say, or Magic Johnson before that. I'd probably say Kobe. You know. Again, I kind of lost track of basketball a long time ago, but I think Kobe Bryant was yeah, he was one of the best, man. He was, you know. But again, if there's any other basketball fans in there, then yeah, you guys can answer that question for me. I'm gonna say Kobe. But yeah, LeBron James obviously is there. Carl Johnson, CJ from San and weren't Carl Johnson CJ from San Andreas? I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Carl Johnson from Grove Streets. Don't know, man. Don't know. Steve Urkel, okay, big up, man. Away from football, how do you rate England's performance in the Ashes? Do you know what? I haven't even been watching the Ashes, I'll be honest. I haven't been watching it, man. Again, cricket for me I lost interest in cricket time ago, man. It's a difficult sport for me to watch, if I'm honest. So yeah, big up for your question, man. But I don't really watch cricket, so I haven't really been paying attention to it. Did you have Christmas dinner? Yeah, come on, man. I mean, it's Christmas. It's Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, of course. Did you? Does Semenyo improve City? I feel like he's an up for an Oscar Bob, but not the rest of City's wide players. I think, big up to the question as well. I think Semenyo for me, and I said this yesterday, yeah, I will go as far and say Semenyo, that sign of Semenyo, if he does go there, should secure the league title for City for me, for different reasons. Because if you think of what City are doing now, yeah, and they've still got players to come back, you're adding in someone that has proven that he can score goals in this league, and he's got the physicality and the pace, which, you know, when there's games that are tight, he might be the difference maker. So the fact that they've got one in Doku already, you know, who's a winger, and you can bring in someone like a Semenyo that, if you don't want to start Doku and start Semenyo, and if things ain't going too well, you can then bring on Doku, who will be fresh, you know, or if they wanted to play Cherky in the 10 and play two players that have got pace and power out wide, they can mix it up. So it's a smart signing. It's not a signing that Pep would have made before, but it just shows you that he's adapting to the demands really of the league. And again, they're in Champions League as well. You know, who knows? Semenyo could make, if he does go there, he could make a difference for them in the Champions League as well. So it's a smart sign, I would say. And as I said, if he does go there, I think they I think that's them with one hand on the title, man, for me. You know. But I like Oscar Bob as well, but Oscar Bob hasn't been the same since the injuries. So yeah, it's a difficult one, to be honest with you. It's a difficult one. I got those Lindor pistachio balls. Finished them all already. Yeah, listen, they're deadly, man. Someone bought me the strawberries and cream one. I like salty caramel ones, and I like the what's the other ones? Is it the hazelnut ones? I think they're called. But yeah, the pistachio ones are serious. They are. But listen, don't be eating too many of them, man. You're gonna turn into one of them. So yeah, just try and oh, you finished them all up already? Okay. Yeah, that's mad. I didn't see that still. Boy, I'm guessing you're gonna be in the bathroom all night then after eating all them. Big up to Lumi, man. Finishing off a whole thing of Lindor pistachios. Crazy. That is crazy. Rashford said he is settling in at Barca. Would you sell him in a heartbeat? Yeah, listen, man. I think with Rashford, yeah, he's times. I mean, the thing is, put it this way, right? There's no way back for Rashford. The very fact that Cunha's taken his number, that's letting Rashford know that his time's more or less done at Man United. And I think for Rashford's career, he does need to move on just for his own sake. So, but to think that Garnacho and Højlund had longer than Rashford is criminal, really. But yeah, for me, Rashford's time at Man United is done, and I don't see Barca keeping him either. I'm not really sure where Rashford goes, if I'm honest. I think, again, his wage is a massive problem. Abroad, I don't know. I think the best thing to say is, yeah, I actually can't tell you where Rashford ends up next, because I don't believe Barca, for me, won't sign him. And realistically, he can't come back to Manchester United, because the fact they've taken his shirt number away just tells you everything. And again, if he was to come back, it'd be odd, man. It would be odd. Do you think that Isak and Wirtz are a waste of money, or do you think they can pick up? No, I think they haven't started off well. They haven't been great. But I'm a massive fan of Florian Wirtz. You know, Florian Wirtz is one of my favorite players, and I'm not going to write off Florian Wirtz, because, you know, when he was at Bayer Leverkusen, you know, there's no one in the chat right now that can say otherwise, that this is one of the best players in the world right now. I think going to Liverpool, massive club, you know, the system hasn't been a help to him in my opinion. You know, I did say they should have played a three at the back at the start of the season, but I think once Wirtz gets used to the league a bit more, I think Wirtz comes into his own. You know, Wirtz is not going to score 30 goals, 40 goals, or get 40 assists, but he's gonna be instrumental for me in what Liverpool do in the future. And Liverpool have been poor, yeah, but I look at Liverpool's squad of players that are at a similar age, and they could be a problem in the future. So, as I said, man, it's one to watch. But yeah, I think the Isak one I spoke about yesterday, I think the Isak one didn't make sense, because if you're looking at Ekatike scoring goals, it's one of them things where, as a Liverpool management, you should have thought, right, we've got Ekatike who's a striker, he's scoring goals. I know we want Isak, but let's just go and let's either save our money or spend it elsewhere. Because what happens now, and again, the fact that Isak's now out injured, like, let's face it, Ekatike is going to be happy, because he knows he's going to be the number one choice, yeah? But what I would say is that when Isak gets back fit, because Ekatike is not a player that you can see that will stay on the bench. So something's got to give, and Liverpool are not going to go to two up top for me. So it's one of them things where they either like a Barca or a Real Madrid come in for Ekatike, and then Isak gets restored to being the main striker. Who knows? But I just don't know how both of them coexist in the same team. It's not going to work, because even though Ekatike can play out wide, why is he gonna settle for playing out wide and Isak through the middle? Because since he's come to Liverpool, the guy's been on fire. So yeah, it's a difficult one because he's shown that he should be the main striker, but Isak's the highest transfer record in the Premiership. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I just don't think they can coexist in the same team. So yeah, in my opinion, I think Wirtz will definitely come good. Isak, Isak, I think will come good eventually, but they both haven't paid off their price tag so far. Definitely not. Have you been impressed with how good Gabriel Jesus has looked? No, not really. No, not really. Ryan Cherky, do you think he will get Player of the Year? Say, True Ever Troyores. What? Let me answer the first bit. So yeah, Ryan Cherky for me. I spoke about him previously. So obviously I've done a stream on him the other day. I think this is a Ballon d'Or contender in the making. I think when I'm looking at in the future, you know, I'm looking at him as someone that can rival Lamine Yamal. You know, I would like to put Elise in there as well, and I think might be a few other players. But I'm looking at Cherky and Yamal. Those two should be going head to head in the future for the Ballon d'Or for me. I think Cherky's that good, you know. And again, if any of you have seen Cherky's clips of him doing some shooting practice, like it's scary. It's scary how good he is off both feet, you know. So when you're seeing him strike it off both feet, it's not really a surprise, man, because the guy practices it all the time. And yeah, he's ridiculous, man. So can he get Player of the Year? Of course he can. But a lot of these things go down to popularity. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see, man. But he's definitely I definitely think he will do, man, no doubt. If Salah goes and doesn't go to a foreign club, take him at United? No. Mo Salah? Nah, don't be silly. No way. No way, man. No way. Right, guys, I'm going to go through a few more of your last questions, and then I'm going to wrap it up and let you guys get back to your Lindors or your brownies from what I'm seeing in the comments. So, big up. So if you've got any questions for me, I'm going to go through them now, and then the last one, I'm going to wrap it up from there. Gav, now we're halfway through. What looks like transfer of the season so far? Good question. Do you know what? I think, yeah, you would have to say. For me, this might surprise some people, yeah, but I think you would have to say, well, for me, I'm gonna say signs of the season so far. I'm gonna say Donnarumma or Ekatike for me, and I tell you why I think Donnarumma. Yeah, I mean Cherky could be there, but I think Cherky didn't really start off regularly playing for City, whereas Donnarumma from day one since he's come there, he's been in goal. But yeah, I'm gonna say Donnarumma Ekatike because I think in terms of Donnarumma has basically been crucial to City being back in the title race from what they were doing last season, because he's a goalkeeper that just, you know, he's got the command of the box. He's a leader. You know what I mean? He's just a top goalkeeper. Great shot stopper as well. So I'm going to say Donnarumma and Ekatike for what he's done since he's come to Liverpool. I think Ekatike has been faultless since he's come to Liverpool. You know, and as I said, since he's come to the club, the guy has just been on a scoring spree. So yeah, I'm gonna say Donnarumma or Ekatike for me. But again, make sure you guys throw in who you guys think. So I might have forgot a few other players, but off the top of my head, I'm gonna say those two. How's Avalanche? Is he still training? I believe so. I haven't spoken to him for a little while. Well, last time I spoke to him actually was a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, no, I haven't spoken to him since then. But I assume he is. I hope he is anyway. But big up. Yeah, big up to TLC, man. So, yeah, Cherky was a star at 17, and he was highly rated then. And I'll tell you what, yeah, I'm looking forward to this World Cup, because I tell you now, when the squads get announced, I'm gonna do obviously a stream on it, yeah. But they're gonna have a tough time picking their squad, especially in attack, because some of the even their whole team, yeah, some of the players that might not even make the squad for France is gonna be scary. And obviously Turkey for me has to be there, but they've got some top players, man. Yeah, I can see why you say he reminds you of David Silva and KDB. Even Bernardo Silva as well, you could say, in his prime. Yeah, Merry Christmas, big up. Gav, if you change English football, if you can change English football, what would it be? I'm not understanding the question. So, if you can change English football, what would it be? Nah, listen, Embuemo hasn't been great for me. He has got a few goals, but he hasn't been great. He hasn't. Xavi Simons has been pretty poor as well, but again, it could be other factors because of that. But yeah, yeah. So if you can change English football, what would it be? Yeah, I'm not understanding the question, to be honest. Yeah. Right, guys. Anyway, listen, been going for about an hour and a half. So so in the summer transfer window, which player do you really regret not signing? I think a crucial signing for the system, you know, someone like if I'm talking about the summer just gone, Mateta was a signing that should have been made. Mateta was definitely a signing. You know, Man United needed a striker like a Mateta in this system, definitely. But or probably, yeah, I mean, I want Baleba, but Baleba for me is a sign that has to be made for me. And I could say Baleba or Mateta for me. They're two signings that United should have made. And I believe if them two signings were, either one of them two signings were made, I think, you know, Man United could have been slightly better. But as long as this manager's here, we're going to be poor anyway. So it is what it is. But guys, listen up. Big up yourselves for coming on. Obviously, we've got 31 likes. Big up yourselves. And again, if you haven't smashed the like button, make sure you do. Make sure you sub to the channel and make sure you share the channel as well. And as I said, hope everyone is enjoying their Christmas. Hope everyone continues to enjoying it. And as I said, it's much appreciated you guys taking the time out to come and interact with the channel and support the channel as well and give me some good questions. And one last one before we wrap it up. Caicedo or Rice from Lumi Rain? Moises Caicedo every day of the week. He's 10 times better than Declan Rice. And guys, on that note, as I said, let's wrap it up anyway. Big up to all the mods each and every time. Big up to all the newcomers coming on and interacting with the channel as well. And guys, I'm gonna be back live tomorrow. So it'll be an evening one again. Probably, what time's the Man United game on? So I'm gonna do a reaction to the Man United game straight after. So yeah, if you guys are free, then make sure you guys come through and interact with the channel as always. So I can't remember what time the game's on, but I'm going to be reacting to that straight after. So again, I won't be in a car this time. I'll be in a different setting because I'm going around families again for obviously this Christmas period. So yeah, it'll be a different setting tomorrow. So yeah, as I said, make sure you guys come through and big up yourselves. So 8 o'clock, okay, yeah. So I'll be live after the game straight away. So as I said, yeah, make sure you guys come through and support the channel as always. And yeah, guys, hope everyone enjoys the rest of their Christmas. You know, go easy on the Lindors. You know, go easy on the drink. You know, get the water down your system so you're not hungover for tomorrow morning. And as I said, much appreciated you guys coming through. And yeah, have a good Boxing Day as well, man. I'm going to be live tomorrow anyway, so I'll hopefully catch you guys tomorrow. But as I said, much appreciated you guys coming through and interacting with the channel. And as I said, have a good rest of your Christmas. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Oh, guys, make sure you sub to the channel, share the channel, and smash the like button on the way out. Take it easy.